What's going on, Leaguers? Welcome to the Spectacular Spoiler League. I'm the Pandan Superman, the mayor of Hype City, HazyRome, and as always, I'm joined by the Gotham Knight, the Prime Minister of Post-Production, DeepBoyce. And Leaguers, we are here in the Hall of Spoilers to talk Secret Empire number 0.
I think we're
Captain
here.
America is a traitorous dog.
I think we're here to hail Hydra, Hazy.
Oh, I'm not hailing nothing. Because if you start hailing Hydra, I'm going to hail a cab out of this conversation.
You saw how that rolled off the tongue? Hail Hydra, Hazy.
Nah. Don't drag me down. Don't drag me down into your pitfall of Hydraness, man. I ain't about that life, man. But Leaguers, we're gonna be talking about Secret Empire. It's not a review of Secret Empires, because this is more than that. Okay, this is a conversation. This is a discussion about what this really means for the Marvel comic universe and why they may have been, leading up to this whole change in the first place for a long time now, and what the payoff could ultimately be. And I assure you, this conversation is probably going to, go into the direction that not many of you expected based on, just the initial information we have, which is that, Captain America is no longer a good guy. This means more to not just the Marvel Comics universe, but to comics at large and the overall message. But DeepBoyce, man, what's Secret Empire about, man?
Secret Empire, simply put, is that Captain America Steve Rogers, good old Blue Eyes, the defender of this nation for more than 60 years, has been undercover as a Hydra agent all along.
Damn it!
He's bamboozled us. But
tricked us.
Not only us, he tricked Alpha Flight and Captain Marvel, trapped them out in space. And then he trapped a good number of heroes in Manhattan in what seems to be some sort of dark dimension, something that they did with the Darkhold. And he's been given the keys to the most powerful nation in the world, the United States of America, by some shadowy president. We don't know who it is. It's not Obama. I guess it's Trump. We don't know, but the president said, Captain America, you're president now. You're the ruler of everything. We need you to take care of the situation. He used that advantage to take things over and make Hydra the rulers of the world.
He essentially made him commander-in-chief. Like, he didn't call him out outright president, but he was like, yo, all the security forces under your command.
Yeah.
That's pretty much commander-in-chief.
Yeah, he said, I don't know. Listen, you got this. We trust you. The Chitauri are about to come in. It's like billions of them. It's a whole wave of these dudes.
Which Cap set up, by the way.
He set up by capturing their queen. So they have like a hive mind. So that's why they keep attacking Earth. People don't know that he captured the Chitauri queen. So that's why they keep attacking us in waves. And that caused, I guess, the U.S. to pass legislation to create this interplanetary shield that shields us from what's outside, but also kind of shields us, or it prevents us from getting out.
Right, but what if you send your heroes outside of the atmosphere to fight the Chitauri invasion and you put the shield up? They're locked out.
Yeah, and if any of the heroes here on Earth, if they need help, like maybe they may ask help from some more powerful intergalactic heroes out there, they're not going to be able to get in. Exactly.
But, I mean, how did this happen, man? Like, what led up to Captain America, being a turncoat? How could he just... after everything, after, decades of comic book history, how could he just turn around and just be Hydra?
Well, that's interesting because there's a big question mark there, which I'll explain in a minute. But long story short, there was a cosmic cube, which is a cube. It's the Tesseract, which we saw in the Avengers 1, the movie, right? And these cosmic cubes, they give whoever wields it the power to alter reality. And the Red Skull, who is an agent of Hydra, or the leader of Hydra, the Nazi version of Hydra. He had this Tesseract, this cosmic cube, and he used it to change reality. Specifically, he changed Steve Rogers' past. So instead of Steve Rogers, having gone through the U.S. program, the Super Soldier Serum, that made him into a U.S. hero, he was actually within Hydra's program secretly, and they implanted him to U.S. in order to make him into a super soldier, in which he would eventually topple the United States when he had the right moment. Basically gain our trust and then topple us, just like he did right now in Secret Empire issue 0.
But what's really going on, though? Because, I mean, apparently that's what happened, right?
Yes.
We read that in Captain America, and Steve Rogers' Captain America, okay? That's one of the comic book lines out right now that kind of tells Cap's story. But we also saw something else that maybe alludes to the fact that Red Skull possibly set the universe back to how it originally was.
Yes.
Meaning that it wasn't that Red Skull changed Captain America. It's that Red Skull changed Captain America back to who he truly was in the first place.
That's the interesting twist there. Apparently, and we don't know this for sure, we'll see how it all plays out, but apparently the Allies, the United States, lost the war against the Nazis. But their secret weapon was not a nuke. It was the cosmic cube, in which someone, or maybe the government, used it to change reality, in which the Allies actually won. And instead of Captain America being a Hydra agent, he was working for the U.S. this entire time. So we don't know which truth is the actual truth. Was Captain America always an agent of Hydra and we changed it to our favor? Or was he always an agent of the United States and the Red Skull just happened to change them just recently?
So, I mean, the big question here is, do we like this? I ain't gonna front. The reason why we're having this conversation is because we saw a lot of people talking about how much they hated this. Obviously, you know, when you turn a hero like Captain America into a villain, people are gonna get tight. But do you like this? Do you think we should give Marvel a chance?
Maybe I'm somewhat might consider me a Marvel apologist, but I think we should give them a chance with this. I think after main event and crossover after crossover after crossover, which haven't really worked out, we're looking at Civil War 2, Secret Empire. I think it's interesting. I think it's entertaining, and I'm interested in seeing how this will turn out. For me personally, if they mess this up, then I'm probably going to lose faith in their crossovers for quite some time. I'm probably not going to be all that interested. Like, this is the last one. If they really do this right, then I'll breathe a sigh of relief, so to speak. But I think what's really important is the setup to all of this. I think Captain America Steve Rogers, the comic book, has been really, really cool and really interesting. I've really been liking it up until this point.
It's been pretty good. It's been pretty damn good.
You know, change is always necessary for characters, especially someone like Captain America has been around for so long. And I don't think that, whilst in my heart of hearts, this feels a little odd, a little, funny, because I do personally feel that Captain America he's like one of those quintessential heroes. I really do.
Yeah, he's like Superman.
Yeah, he's awesome. I like him way better than Superman, but that's a different discussion.
Agreed.
But I don't think this is a change that will totally bury Captain America. Like, speaking of Superman, New 52 did. I think New 52, not only did people not like it, or some people did like it, but ultimately it kind of buried, like it really kind of toppled everything that DC Comics had going. I think Captain America, unless they do something crazy, because we're still in issue 0, we don't know how long this will go for, but thus far, Captain America's alright. Captain America will, that character has not been damaged yet. So I think, it's been an interesting setup. I like Secret War issue 0. And I'm interested in seeing where this goes.
Secret Empire.
Secret Empire. I'm sorry. Secret Wars. That was from a couple years back, but Secret Empire issue 0. I liked it, and I'm not really buying into all the hullabaloo that Captain Suddenly Hydra. I mean, people were pissed.
Yeah, people were pissed off,
mad.
man. People were mad. And my thing is Marvel's trying to do something different here with having they haven't outright said that the true universe is, this universe where the Axis powers and Hydra essentially infiltrated the U.S. through Captain America. They're just telling the story as if that is the case. We don't know if that's true or not. At the end of the day, what we always say, and what comic book readers should always do, is let the story finish.
Yes.
That being said, this does have a greater meaning for Marvel as a whole, and that's kind of the important aspect of what Secret Empire issue 0 means, because essentially you're taking the most all-American hero that Marvel has had. Like, Captain America is representative of America, the American ideal. I mean, this guy was a political statement from the get-go, punching Hitler in the face from the jump. Like, this guy has been a picture of what America is and has been, and what they're doing right now is they're taking him and turning him into the antithesis of what the U.S. is.
Or,
They're making him Hydra, which is essentially,
Or have they?
Well, that's the question.
Or have they? I mean, in terms of symbolism, I can agree with that. But, and this is an uncomfortable thing for people to talk about. But, I think what this crossover has kind of been, showing is that these are some of the darker aspects, I guess, of our country. I mean, this idea... Captain America preyed on our fears. We were afraid of this threat from way outside, so we built this interplanetary shield, but instead of shielding us from the outside, he used it to cage us in, and now we're trapped. And at the same time, he also used dark magic to, literally put Manhattan into some sort of shadow dimension, which I guess there's some bigger, metaphor there that I'm kind of missing at this point in time. But, I don't know. New York is the center of finance in the United States and of the world. It's in shadows now. Who knows?
I mean, but New York isn't just that either. New York, I mean, obviously we're making some allusions to, what's going on in politics right now with, the idea of creating some type of barrier.
Yeah.
Shielding you from meant to shield you from other people, and to that effect also isolating yourself and trapping you with your own issues. But when you look at New York is, the center of all things, for lack of a better way to say it, Say it again?
Center of all things Marvel.
Yeah, all things Marvel. Exactly. So what does it mean that, he's just locking up, Marvel and all the things that Marvel stands for? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think people need to kind of calm down a bit and just let's breathe and let's wait this out a bit. I think it's ultimately kind of interesting. And also, I mean, again, a little uncomfortable for people to kind of acknowledge this or look at this. But New York is the home of our current president as well. Maybe there's some symbolism there that maybe Marvel is hinting at, or I don't know. Or maybe there's something to be taken from that.
Not only is it the home of the current president, but it's a home that is largely not supportive of the current president. And that's what I was actually alluding to. And this idea that, New York stands for something in that respect. It stands for a city that's united against the political ideal that, our current president stands for. It's interesting.
And it's also,
regardless of your political allegiance, it's interesting.
And it's also the home of the titular character, Captain America. He's from Brooklyn.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Yeah, and people were,
there's some allusions there to current events.
Yeah,
it's obvious.
And I get it. People don't like it. People get really upset and mad about it. But just because it doesn't really align with your political views doesn't mean that it's necessarily the end of the world. And this is not the first time comics or popular culture have ever been critical of what's been going on in the real world. In my opinion, they haven't really shat the bed yet, so to speak. I think they're kind of handling it well. I've been interested in what's been going on here, but we'll see. That you have to kind of give it time.
But I mean, for me, and this is something that I thought about, is when you relate, Captain America and this change that's occurred, you relate to, other characters that, are inherently tied to this, Cap's future. One such example is Sam Wilson. Sam Wilson is also holding the mantle of Captain America in the comics.
Yeah.
They were holding it simultaneously, but now that Cap is the evil Captain America, now Steve Rogers is the evil Captain America, there's only one good Captain America left, and that's Sam Wilson.
Yeah.
And Sam Wilson has had his own problems, particularly with him taking certain political stances that have angered some, Marvel Americans. And by Marvel Americans, I mean the citizens within the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And essentially, I mean, it's going to pit, African American Sam Wilson against Nazi Cap.
Yeah. Well,
and not only Nazi Cap, but a Hydra Cap, if you will, but Hydra Cap, who once stood for what America was.
I will have to say
there's something there, man.
I will have to say this, and I still don't know exactly where I stand with this, but I think they're making a clear distinction between Hydra and the Nazis.
Regardless of that distinction, whenever you think of Hydra, think of the Nazis. They used to be Nazis.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're trying to make that decision in order to play it safe.
Well,
and that's fair.
I mean, it's always Hydra was always that like occult organization, but then they kind of latched onto the Nazis because I guess they felt that the Nazis were going to win the war, and maybe that is a nice little retcon that they're doing in this comic. Maybe because of Hydra, the Nazis were able to win, and the only weapon that the United States had, bam, cosmic cube, and they had to change everything, change the fabric of reality. But no, again, the point still stands because again, there's some symbolism here that the writers and Marvel is trying to put out there,
right?
In terms of big government, giving in our civil liberties just because we're in fear. But I think
the
it's interesting
idea
to have...
of a minority Captain America going head to head with the former Captain America. It's gonna happen. You know that they're building towards that.
Pretty much.
Because Sam Wilson has had issues in his line, Sam Wilson, Captain America, he's had issues with being accepted as Captain America.
Yeah.
And what better way to have him accepted as Captain America than help him be pivotal in the defeat of this tyrant that's arisen.
Yeah.
And it also, brings to question the future of Miles Morales. Now, Miles Morales in Civil War II, which, wasn't great. We all know it wasn't great. But one of the pivotal characters in that series of comics was Ulysses, and he had a vision, and in that vision, this character had the power. He's an Inhuman. He has the power to see the future. In this vision, he saw Miles Morales killing Steve Rogers, Captain America, or rather, standing over his dead body. And by dead body, I mean like dude's like pierced by something, right?
Yeah.
I think he's like pierced through like the sternum through something. Like he's dead.
Yeah.
And he's standing, and Miles Morales is standing triumphant over him. And I mean, once again, you have a character, of African American Hispanic descent, who also is a legacy character. He's based on another character, Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man, who once again represents the American ideal. You have this character who's essentially taking down Steve Rogers, the former embodiment of the United States of America. I'm like Marvel's trying to say something there, whether you agree with it or not.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting conversation to have.
Yeah.
And it's a dangerous conversation to have.
It is.
Especially when you start painting, when you start looking at just face value, like skin color.
Yeah. It's this one that's going to make them money because people are definitely be talking about it a lot in times to come.
They need to be careful. They really do need to be careful with the way they tell the story.
Yeah, you need a delicate hand to kind of write this story. But I think for anyone that's out there that's interested and hasn't checked this out, I guess any issues that they, comic book issues that they want to check out, actually pick up to kind of get up to speed with what's going on. I guess we'd recommend Steve Rogers Captain America 1 through 16, Secret Empire issue 0. And if you want some extra homework, extra credit, if you're done with that, then you can check out Thunderbolts and US Avengers. There's a little bit sprinkled in there, tied in with this. But we kind of already explained to you the whole Civil War II situation. I think we could both agree you don't need to trudge through all of that. We just gave you the gist of what pertains to this storyline from Civil War II.
Yeah, that little detail I gave you about Miles Morales is literally like, it's just how one of the main Civil War II issues ends. But it's not necessarily addressed in the main Civil War II storyline. So you just need to keep that in mind for the future of this event because, Ulysses was seeing a future where essentially Cap is defeated. Steve Rogers is defeated by either Miles Morales or someone else, and Miles Morales is part of that defeat. But, I recommend reading all that stuff, man. Also recommend Sam Wilson, Captain America, if you want to, start from issue 1. And a lot of people, they think, issue 1 through 16, they heard you talking about that, but it really does go by super fast. It doesn't go by as slowly as you may think. Yeah. It's, and this is coming from someone who, I definitely wasn't always into comics the way I am now. But you'll be surprised how many comics you can get through.
Agreed.
But anyway, let us know your thoughts about Secret Empire. What do you think about some of the points we brought up today? What do you think the overall message that Marvel is trying to say with Secret Empire and the change to Captain America? Do you think this is a good direction for Marvel to go in? Do you think Sam Wilson and Miles Morales will play into the future of Steve Rogers, Captain America, and this whole Secret Empire event? I don't know, but the Hall of Spoilers needs to hear your opinion I was gonna say your opinion.
Fair enough.
I was possessed. I was possessed by some type of being that didn't want me to, some cosmic being that didn't want me to say the sentence right.
Your poignant opinion. You're poignant.
There you go. Your poignant opinion. Thank you for the save, DeepBoyce. You're my Captain America, sir.
Hail Hydra, Hazy.
Oh, come on, man. Anyway, guys, if you like anything you heard in this video today, hit us with a like, and for all mankind, hit us with a subscribe. Join the spectacular spoiler league. Help protect this planet against whack stories and whack videos. Okay, help us out. We'll see you guys on the next one. Let us know what you think for real, for real. Definitely want to hear your opinions. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one, and don't hail Hydra.
Peace.
It's bad. It's bad.
Bon bon.